60. Still right. This is 75 across. Which I still see.
Huh?
So what you gonna do with your battery?
I'm probably gonna do it like probably 10 minutes at a time.
You're just gonna do out by the curb?
Yeah. We only got one viewer.
There is one?
Yep.
I don't know how many.
Huh?
How many people have ever viewed? I mean, different people.
Say that again?
How many different people have ever viewed?
At one time?
No, that you know of, different people that have ever seen any of it.
I don't know the personally.
I mean, can you keep track, or do they just tell you a number?
Yeah, just it comes on. It tells you.
How many people are logged on?
Yep.
Okay, so you wouldn't know individually.
Unless they
send you a message.
Yeah, unless they send me a message and say, "Oh, hey, this is Joe Schmo, and I just joined your live stream. Thank you for doing it."
So are you on right now?
Yep.
So we're on live stream?
Yep.
Okay. I had to get my picture taken today, and I said, can you take that over again, because without the product placement for the tobacco, because I had a cigarette in my hand.
Yep.
Have you got any more cigarettes, or did we run out?
Who took your picture? Oh, the Russian guy?
Yeah, we're Ukrainian.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, we used to call them all Russia when they were, the Soviet Union.
So, oh, okay.
Do you have a cigarette? Because if you're online, I want to talk to you about some stuff, and I think that'll be useful for not only me, and I want to hear it, but for anybody that wants.
That's funny.
That kind of wants to understand what's
what
happening.
You just said.
Which what?
That you want to hear yourself talk.
No. I have some questions that I want to ask you. I don't think I said I want to hear myself talk.
Yes, you did. You said, I have some things I want to say, and I want to hear it.
No, I want... Yeah, okay. I have some things I want to ask, and I want to hear you tell me.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Maybe this is going to be part of the outtake comedy, comedy bloopers reel.
Right.
He's simply saying, hey, brother, we're out by the curb. Well, there's how many viewers? One? Okay, hello, viewer. Do we archive this at all, or is it being archived somewhere?
Yeah, we can archive it. I'll save it.
Okay, all right, so good. Then for the one viewer that's here now, rock on. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Stay with us, and you're going to maybe learn with me what's going on here, because I want to know the technology, and I want to know the path of the light that's being 50% coal. 50% coal. Sorry, it's after dark here in Portland, and it's not dark out because we have these street lights. And half of the electricity, real time, is from burning coal. Bad idea. Now, who's telling you that? Well, my dad worked in a coal mine. My grandfather worked in a coal mine, and my other grandfather worked in a coal mine. So, coal's had its time. It's got to go. I'm a solar powered guy. So, my question is, looking at me with this reflected light, what's that happens, 99, with this signal? Where does this go through the thing? How are they watching me, and how is this being archived?
I'm going to say the same way TV works.
Okay, so here you are. You've got your gadget in your hand, right? That's the camera.
Right.
Okay, and where's you've got the hot spot, right?
Yes.
And that's a gadget.
And what are they looking at?
Right?
What are they looking through?
Okay, so what's the hot spot? Where's it sending its message to? What's catching the hotspot?
A satellite. To the satellite.
Okay, so it's going to the satellite, and then that goes from the satellite to
the viewer's computer screen.
Okay, so somewhere there's a big stacking pile of servers or something that is this is being logged on to and distributed by, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
There's a site somewhere where there's a computer.
the Ustream site,
Okay,
like
so
like
Ustream.
YouTube.
Okay, so all right, I got it, but I don't know what Ustream is. Okay, awesome. So there's a satellite thing working here, right?
Yes.
You think that all of the signals hitting the satellite, or you think maybe other people another time in space is going to catch this message later and wonder what happened?
I'm almost sure of what you just said. That
This
other
message,
people-
that our version that's not hitting the satellite as it goes up there to the satellite.
Oh, our version is not hitting it. Somebody's intercepting it and changing it.
No, I'm just saying that you said there's a signal going
Hey,
from
Carl.
down here
Right.
where we're standing, and something's fighting the gravity,
Right.
and that beam gets up there and it hits the satellite,
Right.
and then it comes some way, it comes back down, and one viewer's watching it. The question is, okay, there's some of that signal that's missing the satellite, no doubt. Or maybe they're really good at catching. But okay, say if some of it is missing, that's going out through space, just like we're searching for radio waves,
Right.
extraterrestrial, right, and all
Right.
that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
My speculation is this: how do you think, and what do you think people are going to think, if they think at all, in their manifestation of itness? What do you think they're going to think about out by the curb when they catch it
Oh.
without the computer? They have their own way of catching this signal, and it's my face, Cole,
so-
to my face, to the camera, to the hotspot, to the
Oh, right.
satellite.
What are they gonna think?
This is the satellite from the hotspot, right? So
It
maybe the
goes to
hotspot
like
is
a
what's really
goes
doing
like
it.
to a cell phone maybe.
So I mean, does the hotspot send it to something that sends it
Yeah,
to
the
satellite?
hotspot is the Wi-Fi, is the this dude right here
Oh, yeah.
is the computer is sending, well, not the computer, the cable, the cable, the cable. What should we call them? The provider, the internet provider, the service provider is letting us.
For the internet capability.
Yes, is letting us piggyback off of his satellite using his stream. And so while we're using his stream, we have a signal, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signal. Everybody else have 7, 8, 9, 10, and the other person have 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah. So we're getting part of that signal that's ultimately going to this archive into this still
Right.
hopefully,
And it's-
hopefully entertained one viewer. And we're how many? How many are on there? 3 viewers? 3 viewers plus the archive, plus the part that's missing the satellite.
Right.
And it's going to go somewhere
That's
else.
going
later.
to Asia, China.
No, I mean the part that's missing is going out into free space.
Oh.
And we're spinning, 24 hours a day because
Oh,
we're
right.
spinning around. So we're like,
Well, there's a lot of space junk up there, so
Yeah.
there's a chance that if it's missing his satellite, somebody else is catching it.
yeah, but I'm talking about the part that's missing our orb. No human thought involved. Out into blackness with stuff floating around.
Right.
Hey, have you ever done a scale model of the solar system? You get a thumb-sized piece of rock, and that's like the sun.
Right.
And then you walk so incredibly far, and you put down the tiniest little speck, and that's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, right?
Right,
And you do
right.
this, and we did it on a march to protest the death penalty. We were going down I-5, and the guy with us says, "Hey, anybody done a model of the solar system? You mind if we do this here?" And he says, and he goes to the side of the road, and he picks up these pieces of gravel, and he says, okay, because he's got kind of the instruction that you need a piece this big to be this planet, this big to be this planet, this
Right.
big to be the sun, right? And we do this, right? And we start walking. Because we're walking 40 miles or whatever, 50 miles to do this protest march over a series of 3 days, stopping at strategic locations. One of the ones was stopping so we could go to Salem for an execution because we were protesting the death penalty, which was scheduled way in advance when a guy gave up his appeals and was actually executed. So we had to stop our march to protest the death penalty.
Right.
So car pulled down and van pulled down to get to the execution vigil. So the next day, we could come back and continue our march to go down to the Capitol where we were going to have our event.
Right.
Our march to our event was intercepted by a execution.
Right.
Right. So we had all these folks that were in that. So on the way, we did the
Hey,
scale
Carl,
model.
high five, man. How you doing
Scale
this
model
night?
is the
Doing
universe.
fine.
You ready for this weekend?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Keep going, Barry. Sorry.
Okay, so when you do the scale model of the universe,
Right.
and you see how far the sunlight that takes, over 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes. I think it's about 8 minutes to get here.
Right.
It's 10 minutes.
That's
You know,
pretty
rule of
fast.
thumb. But we're so far away, it's going 186,000 miles per second.
Hell yeah, that's fast. You
It
said
still takes 10 minutes to get here from the sun.
from the sun.
Okay,
That's
when you
fast.
see it,
God
it's
damn.
fast, but we're far away. We're that far away.
Right. We're far away.
We're far away.
That
When
we
you see
won't be able to
how-
get there in
and
10
when
minutes.
you see how tiny we are in this incredible distance once you walk it out on a scale model,
Right.
and you see that we're this tiny speck that's so far away you can't hardly remember the last time you dropped off Venus.
Right.
And before that, the tiny planet Mercury, right? And
Right.
beyond that, we're getting to the gaseous giants, right? We're getting out there to Saturn and Jupiter, right?
1 hour.
All right.
Right? And so once you see all that, you see how insignificant we are in the scope of the vastness. That's one thing. And then you see how wonderful it is that the sun that's that far away can warm us out here as it did today.
Right.
And we're heading into halfway. I think we might be halfway between fall and winter solstice by now. Imagine we might have
yeah.
a holiday. That
Wait,
is traditional
halfway through
Halloween
fall,
might
right?
be,
Yeah.
also
Because
it's
we
like
ain't
we-
even done
because we do these
daylight
kind of
savings time
So
yet.
we have the 4 quarters, meaning the sun is the lowest,
Right.
the sun is halfway to the highest,
Yeah.
the sun is the highest,
Right.
the sun is halfway to the lowest,
Right.
the sun is the lowest.
Yeah.
And halfway to the highest and halfway to the lowest are the same. So March, we have the spring equinox. In September, we have the vernal equinox. We have the vernal in the spring, the autumnal equinox, and what that means is the sun rises due east and sets due west.
Right.
And the day before that,
Here,
or
let
the
me-
day after it,
Let me show them the vigil. Got to get the candles lit.
it's a little bit further south and further south.
Yeah.
And this morning we had one of our guests here that is challenged,
Right.
and we took the effort to support our challenge member of our visual encampment out here on City Hall's front, and we relocated, hoping that we could have the
Oh,
sunshine
right on.
rise.
Yes. Yes.
Turns
Yes.
out, no. Last week, probably, but the sun's getting lower and lower in the horizon to us.
Right.
And my calculation was off by.
That's all right.
But it's
She
okay.
was still comfortable.
I wasn't even going to identify his gender. Because we have in our community my friend that I can actually not say my man, I can't say my woman,
Right.
I can say my freak. And that person accepts that.
Right.
Because we're that way with each other where we know who we are and
Right.
we let our freak flag fly.
Right
so
on.
We're accepting of people with their whatever they want to call themselves.
Like if I say the word colored, right? Nobody gets offended.
You're colored. Your teeth are white. Your lips are, I don't know, I can't see them in the dark, but your tongue is pink. And your skin is brown.
Brown. I can't.
I'm looking at the Crayola box, baby.
I'm looking at the
Okay.
Crayola box too. I
And then-
can't say
and then
brown. I
your-
can say
your-
dark.
Your hair is kind of, I don't know, in this light, it's actually looking yellow because our spectrum is coming from these high-pressure sodium lamps.
Oh, those grow. Oh, really? Is that what those are?
That's a high-pressure sodium lamp. That's in the class of electric lighting called HID,
Right.
which is high-intensity discharge.
So
And we've kind of surpassed that technology now.
I'm surprised
But we're
people.
still using coal.
Right. I'm
Okay, but we
surprised
surpassed this.
people are not taking those bulbs versus going into these stores and buying them and putting their name on these mailing lists, which the police are using to identify them as growers.
Oh, for pot?
Uh, I wasn't going to identify the product, but
No, I'm going to say for pot. Okay, people. Here's how upside down our society is, ladies and gentlemen, and freaks. Okay, and we love you all. We actually take the most historically important agricultural product, and before agriculture, free growing out there, and we're hunter-gathering. We're not planting it, but we're using it, right?
Right.
And we were so good at finding out what worked that it was the first thing that we planted. We got tired of waiting for it, and we made it wait for us, and we helped it, and pot and cannabis and whatever manifestation, from growing to be oil to cook with, oil for lamp lighting, oil for lubrication, ropes for fabric, for fiber, for your clothing, for your getting the water from the well. Right? It's easy to do if you have a rope. Not so hard. Not so hard compared to trying to get it out with, say, let's fill the well up with rocks until the water gets up to the top. That might raise the water level, but you can use a bucket, and you can have your bucket be a basket. So this all important, valuable resource that in the 1930s, as we call time here in our jurisdiction, in the 1930s.
That guy had to be a police officer, you guys,
Why,
because
come down the wrong way and turn around?
I've never seen a car do that. No, he came down the right way. He came down the right way, and you turned the middle of the street and went up the wrong way.
Well, that looks like an accident waiting to happen, going that way. It was a shortcut. Didn't have to be a cop.
Well, no. I was gonna say I would only believe that a
cop
pig
would be that stupid.
Yeah, would have that many balls to do that.
Would be stupid.
Right. Without his emergencies on.
Yeah. Okay, getting back to the scale.
And it was see that was archived.
Okay, getting back to the scale model of the universe and to talk about the lighting here. This lighting is from coal. 50% of the light that's coming out of here that we're looking at, real time, the way we calculate energy use in the state of Oregon, 50% of this is from burning coal. We're not burning it downtown Portland. We're burning it over that a ways, outside of town. Pretty far, actually. But we are taking the mercury that's in the earth and we're sending it up into the atmosphere. And that mercury is a toxin, and it will actually make people dumber.
Like that guy right there?
Maybe he had too much coal burning. However, in Pittsburgh, within the past 100 years, the businessmen would take an extra shirt and change their white shirt at lunch, because their white shirt from the first half of the day, the morning, was already blackened from the amount of pollution that was in the air. And the street lights would turn on in the daytime because they were burning so much coal in Pittsburgh that it was so dark that they would have to put the street lights on in the daytime so you could actually see. That was within the past 100 years. China is kind of in that scene right now, where they're willing to take that toxic cloud in order to do what it takes, like what we did. We in Pittsburgh made the steel that went to the Empire State Building. It's still standing in New York, unless something happened while we weren't watching the news. But the Empire State Building is still there with the steel that was made in Pittsburgh. And the street lights came on in Pittsburgh because there was so much coal being burned. So coal is important and has helped us do some stuff, but we've transcended that. And when you ask about why people aren't jacking these bulbs, is there are so many people that are growing plants with electricity that the bulbs are actually sensitive in their design to produce the spectrum that best stimulates the plant growth. The light bulb itself is designed so the light coming out of it is specifically the kind of stuff that makes the marijuana grow.
So you're saying that these aren't the type of lights that'll do that? That the actual lights that's going to do it are in those stores?
One, yes, you can walk in and get them without having anything. And one time in the day.
Well, these things cost about about $600, $700, up to $1,000. I've seen this.
What, the bulbs?
Yeah. So
Well,
why would a person pay? Why would a person pay $1,000?
These are 400 watts. These are 400 watts, and you can go to Home Depot and get one of these for probably $15, $30, less than 50.
No.
One of these. Now, if somebody wants to give you the magic rock, I got a magic rock, folks. You want to grow marijuana? You buy my magic rock, and you put this magic rock in your bucket of water, and I guarantee you, your plants will love you.
Right. No,
right.
I've seen,
and if you believe in that, and you're willing to give me $1,000 for the rock,
I've seen $1,500 bulbs.
Okay. Well, you know, in the Hollywood industry,
right
up here, they had a 20,000 watt bulb.
Right.
This is, each of one of these, I'm speculating, informed, but is 400 watts.
Right.
Okay, so we have 800 watts right here.
So why would a person walk into the store and spend this hard-earned cash of theirs when they can actually shimmy up one of these poles and take that light right there?
Because that light up there has got a whole bunch of stuff that's keeping it out of the wind and weather.
Sure, it's just like the same thing that's on the apartment.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is, this bulb, case example, you go down here 2 blocks.
It won't fit in any of the balances?
You get down here 2 blocks to Commissioner Nick Fish's park. You go in, and the restaurant light is restroom, not restaurant. Some people eat in there though, so that's the restroom. The light is on. You go in there, and you might think you're magic because when you walk in, the light goes off, and then you go to wash your hands, and the light comes on, and then you're walking out, and the light goes off after you spend some time eating. Okay, because your hands are not washed.
Right.
I'm saying people living outside do some stuff, and that's one of the things that they do. Okay, so the reason that lamp is turning on and off is it's at the end.
What would you like to know?
Got a question?
Yeah, they just asked it, and I just asked that. What would they like to know?
Okay. Well, can I continue for the other viewers as you digest this?
Sure.
Okay. So the point is what's happening is the electricity's turned on to the bulb, but the bulb is at the end of its life cycle. It's worn out. It's not putting out the light that it did when it was new. It's not as efficient. The actual lumens are dropping. The light that's coming out of the bulb when it's lit is lower than the new bulb does. Okay. So anyhow, when it gets to the end of the life, it goes off. Then it has to cool down because these high-intensity discharges start through a process where there's a reaction and poof.
Right.
Right? Well, the reason that they go out is because their end of life has caused them to do that. The reason that they come back on is they've cooled down enough to start the cycle again. The whole time the current is on, whether the bulb is lit or not. So our housing commissioner and park commissioner, Nicholas Stuyvesant Fish, is that's paying to burn coal so we can have electricity go to old bulbs that aren't lit when they go off, but the electricity is still provided, and then they come back on and they put out less lumens because the bulbs are old. They need new bulbs.
So you're saying none of my friends would want any of these bulbs because they're old.
They're used. And the efficiency,
But they're free.
They're not free because they're using, unless you're stealing electricity. And I want to tell you what's wrong with this whole line of reasoning.
Okay, hold on.
Plants are grown outside naturally with the sun. We don't need to burn coal to grow plants unless we're growing marijuana with electricity because we're trying to do it indoors to be secretive because of the law and the man and the threat to go to jail or lose your kids, your house, your reputation, your professional license. I got a friend that got busted for growing pot.
Right on.
He was growing pot because
Okay,
he had a
hold on,
mill
Larry.
accident. Right?
We have the box is still here. The box isn't threatened. The coffee is still the same. The coffee status is still the same. Until we get our other box back. That's what has our hot boxes in it and all our gas and all our art material and whatever else I threw up in there. So the coffee status is the same, and coffee isn't a big deal. We were actually what the big deal is in one of the green boxes I stashed a inverter. I think that's what that's called. Is that what that's called?
A voltage inverter?
Is it? Yeah.
So you can use a car battery and
Yep.
electricity.
Yeah, I stashed one of those in the
Yeah,
boxes.
that's called an inverter.
I got one.
But we don't have it anymore.
Yeah, we do.
It's in the box, didn't you say?
No, it's not in the box that was taken. And before the boxes got taken,
Yeah.
I stashed it in one of the boxes. So we have to, when we get all the boxes back in one area, we have to dissect all of those boxes.
Okay, but the point right now is voltage inverter is missing.
No, it's not missing. We got it. We got all the boxes but that one that was taken.
Oh, they're all back already?
Yeah.
And their contents?
We don't know what the contents is because while
Nobody's
they were
inventoried them and gone
right.
through them all. Okay.
I'm gonna say yes, they did because like I didn't put nothing, that stuff that was in this box. I had each box like 3 boxes housed blankets. Then one of the boxes housed our art material. It was an info box, and then there was the box that housed all the cook stuff. 2 of those boxes housed cook stuff. So we got 3. That's 5. That's 6. And then 1 box was like miscellaneous. That's 7.
Okay, our artwork. We don't have the marker.
What's going down, Fuzzits? Oh, snap. So, we are up on a large screen in a conference room.
Works for me.
Yep, me too.
Okay, let's get back to the electricity, using that to grow hemp, cannabis. Okay, not a good idea. Where are people getting their medical marijuana that is a good idea? They're getting it through the
Why?
drug.
Why is that? Hold on.
Yeah.
We're on something else. Why is that? Oh. So we got 2 people talking.
Okay.
Mary, why is that? It takes 2 minutes to get the answer. All right, go ahead, Barry.
Okay, so getting back to the use of appropriate resources. Okay, these light bulbs here are so that we can have our landscaping be pretty, so we can have security, so nobody's hiding in the bushes and jumping out. And so lighting does these kind of things. But we've really evolved, and now most of the cell phones, all that kind of stuff, those are LEDs. And they're much
the
more,
newer lights.
There's a new generation of lighting
Yes.
that's come out since these, right? So this is the old generation, and there's a new development. Well, the LEDs are light-emitting diodes, and the hippies, I'm going to say 20 plus years ago, that were living out in the woods, were taking their little mag lights. They had a little white light bulb that came with it, and they took that white light bulb out, and they went to Radio Shack, and they got a little diode that had the same wires and fit in the same flashlight, and it was red, and it was an LED, and it was not only more efficient, it didn't burn the batteries up because it was a more efficient light, but it was also red, so when the hippies who lived in the woods under starlight and moonlight used the flashlight when they needed it, when they turned the flashlight off, they still had their night vision. So when you see the war movies or you see the cops and they're coming in the darkness and they're using a red flashlight, they're doing that because the human eye can retain its night vision, because your eyes adjust to the dark and you can see better. You go into a place and it's dark and then your eyes adjust and you can see things that you couldn't see when you initially walked in, and that's because your eyes are opening up and catching more light and this, that, and the other thing. And when you use a flash, your eyeball will go, that was bright. And if you use red light, your eyes don't see that as being as bright. And you maintain your ability, once you turn your red light off, to see. So the hippies have already made the LED lighting that people are using on their cell phone. They pioneered that. And they not only pioneered it as an energy efficient step, so they wouldn't have to charge their batteries.
Oh, you talking about the end? The end is only going to be fried, not the beginning. She said that you talked for nothing, but all the viewers loved it. So keep going.
Okay, so here's the point. Our culture, our counterculture. You want to talk about people that grow marijuana? That was what you posed. Why shouldn't people steal these lights?
Right.
I'm telling you what these folks have already done that are still walking the earth. They were out in the woods. They were educated enough that they knew they could get a diode, particular one. They could go into Radio Shack. They could buy that, put it in their off-the-shelf flashlight. They could buy it at the hardware store, or the hunting store, or the store, and they could make it more efficient. So when they were generating their own electricity, being off the grid, and they might do that with burning a generator, burning fuel, gasoline or diesel fuel. They might do that. They might have solar panels. They might go into town and use their friend's house to charge up their batteries and then drive them back out when they went in to get groceries or whatever it was, right? So there are these different approaches to having energy without having the electricity delivered to your home by how this light's getting here, through cables and all this stuff we see on it. We used to call them telephone poles, even though.
So how many of the videos have did that?
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll continue anytime you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know, when you start talking what you're reading and what the response is and what your conversation is about, because I was trying to kind of continue on the theme. So the LED lightings that we have right now is a product of the technicians trying to figure out how to turn the light emitting diode into the white light emitting diode. So when people are going by with their LED bicycles, with their bicycle lights, that's a white looking light, when in my lifetime that didn't exist. And what they've done over the years is they've pioneered different lighting sources, and I was down in the mid-90s at a U2 concert in Eugene, and they have a massive jumbotron, and they could do that because that was the year after they invented the color blue. And since they had the color blue, they could have the colors blue, giant before they had blue, they didn't have enough stuff to make it all work. So these things come on in stages, and people have ideas, and people tweak them. Okay, now we have a goofy upside-down idea. We're going to take the most important agricultural product, cannabis sativa. We're going to take that plant that we know as pot, as reefer, as hemp, as medical marijuana, as cannabis, as mota, as ganja. We're going to take that plant that's supposed to be the most important and efficient solar collector on our tiny little speck in space that's catching that light that takes 10 minutes, we're saying, to get here. The best thing to turn that into the stuff we need is marijuana. It's hemp, it's cannabis. Now that's like saying a dog is a dog, whether it's a St. Bernard or a Chihuahua or a poodle. Okay, so cannabis has these same options and varieties in the choices that we can breed it to produce. So I'm saying that species of plant, it's all of those things. They can all breed with each other, just like you can breed a Chihuahua with a St. Bernard. I don't know how you do that and what it comes out, but they're both dogs and they can both do it. Whether the mechanics of the size of the dog is a prohibition, well, that's another matter entirely. But it's not like trying to, it's different than trying to breed a zebra with an elephant. You can't get a zebra and an elephant to produce an offspring. You can get a dog and another dog.
You just went from pot to breeding.
Yes, but I'm talking about what we do to get what exists around us. These plants are our chosen friends. We kill things we don't like, and we propagate and don't kill things that we do like, except we have some goofy ideas culturally. Like we pay people to fly around in helicopters to eradicate marijuana that's grown outside. So that pressure and the jails that they put people in, those pressures drove people to grow pot indoors with lights. I know this because I was one of those early pioneers, and I was already decades behind the people that started growing indoors.
All right.
So when I was growing pot in the 1980s, using nuclear power, I was growing organic reefer. One of the products was the dams and the fish kills generating the electricity, the nuclear power plant producing the plutonium, the coal putting the single largest source of our environmental mercury comes from coal in the ground. We bring that mercury up and burn it, and it flies up in the air with the smokestack gases, and it comes back down, and as I said, it makes people stupid. It actually will inhibit your ability to develop your intelligence as a human being subjected to that poison in your environment. That's why we don't have mercury in the medical thermometers anymore, because the stuff is toxic and it's not a good idea. But we're producing 50% of this electricity by burning coal right now as I speak. Okay, so what the alternative is, we say, hey, these lights are the old school lights, we have new school lights, and we have old school lights that were better ideas. And it's as simple as this. We have two surfaces here. We have the white plastic core whiteness, and on it we have R permit reads, and it doesn't read so good because this part wore off. No law shall be passed restraining any of the inhabitants of the state from assembling together in a peaceable manner to consult for their common good, nor from instructing their representatives, nor from applying to the legislature for redress of grievances. That's the Oregon Constitution, Article 1, Section 26, and my having done this is under the Article 1, Section 8, my free expression. Yay! Okay, the point is, the light from the coal is hitting the black, and it's not coming back off. The light from the coal is hitting the white, and it is coming back off.
Barry.
So, our resource management is, if we're going to have electricity coming from coal, we can have white surfaces that allow that light to be used as long as possible. You want to use light to see in your room, have a white surface and that light will bounce around. Have a dark surface and it won't. So we have a whole scientific thing, our little speck out 10 minutes away from our light source. It's providing us energy. And the coal is that energy from millions of years ago that's stored in the earth, that we dig up the earth and extract that energy. And that's what we're burning up here in the atmosphere. We got to stop doing that. That's living off the planet. Like living off your old man, are you? Living off your, right? Living off the whatever. We need to live with the planet, which includes living with the plants. Well, the industrialists, the capitalists, the 1% that we're blaming all these environmental issues on, or social issues on, they have taken the single most important plant, cannabis, the first plant ever cultivated on purpose, cannabis, and they've made it illegal, and people still grow it. It's still the #1 agricultural product because people spend money on it, but at the same time, they're using the man's poison lights, they're using the man's poison lighting sources, and they're doing that for a plant that was designed to be our best solar energy collector. If you want to take the sunlight and you want to turn it into fuel, cannabis hemp is going to do that better than any other plant. It grows in its environments and it fills the space up very efficiently. So if you take that and you can turn it into alcohol fuel, you could burn it, you could make it pyrolytic where you heat it up with the absence of oxygen, so you make a charcoal type product. You can do all these different things with this plant that loves to grow so much it's called a weed. Right?
So what do you guys think about what he's talking about?
A new paradigm, looking at things opposite and having that be right. Okay, so I would like the bathroom down here to not have, one, the wrong generation of lighting. Two,
What bathroom?
Nick Fish's bathroom in the park down here.
They're going to close that. You didn't hear about that?
Wait, I'm telling you today, the lighting in there is other generation. We have a more efficient lighting source.
So
However,
why don't we just go take a hammer to them?
And they're using old bulbs from the old generation that are worn out, so they're not even on because their age makes them go off. Right?
Hey, Carl. You work tomorrow?
What?
Do you work tomorrow?
Yes. No, Friday.
Why you still up?
I woke up
Oh,
wet. One side wet.
really?
I put clean clothes on.
You put clean clothes on?
Pants.
Right on, dry.
And I changed my flannel shirt and put nice dress shirt on.
Okay, you put dry stuff on.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
And sometime over the weekend, I won't have that problem anymore.
Nope, you won't. Right on.
We trying to stay dry out here, and we don't have enough shelter for people to sleep in the winter time. And on Sunday I do volunteer work, and when they come and ask us if we have any blankets for them, we have to go farm them up and all that, and give them blankets.
Brother, anyone got a cigarette for a quarter? Right? Cool.
Have a good night.
When we give them blankets, we find out there's not enough room in the shelter, and everything else is all full.
Right.
I kind of tear one of the old shelters down. It had a lot of cracks in it, and I didn't blame you to tear it down. You should have another one replace it before you tore it down.
An even bigger one, huh?
You got that word right. We're bigger, it'd be better.
So, okay, are we still having this problem? So now that the new Blanchet house is built and the new TPI building is built?
Only they come up with the idea they can have programs to go with them guys who want to stay there. They have to go to a program the next day.
Right. They go to the program, but is the shelter...
When they go to the program...
Is there a problem with the shelter still being full?
There'll be no problem with the shelter be full if we get one more.
Oh, so the shelters are still filling up.
Yeah,
Still not enough room for everybody.
right, in the
And
winter time.
and you saying we could use one more?
I feed on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and they come and they bounce around 9, 10 o'clock and asking us more if we got any blankets.
Right. Barry showed me a paper earlier tonight. It had something to do with an agenda meeting that these guys had a couple of days ago.
It was
And
yesterday.
and it talked about for the 2 hours that it talked about winter a winter.
Shelter?
Yeah, there was a
warming center.
warming center. It
Warming
talked
center,
about
there. That's what we were
it
trying
talked
to
about having working warming centers and what could they do to make those more efficient, because the winter was coming up and it was coming fast, and it was like they were running out of time, and then they were going to use another 20 minutes for the 10-year plan to end homelessness, and then 10 minutes was used to identify all the people that were there that was going to be involved. And each segment of minutes was only run by two speakers, two people. There was two people for 10 minutes, and then at the end of their 10 minutes, another three people would come on. And at the end of their 15 minutes, another four people would come on. And that paper did not sound like it was really going to get anything done fast this winter.
Well, here's the bad news. The city of Portland, over here on our city block, right here, we're standing on, has posted the illegal campground notice that they have to post as a matter of law. Get out your Google ORS 203.077. That's the place it starts, and you get down there to the part that I want them to read, 081, where it says they can permit people to camp. Whoop! Or they can declare an emergency, and then they don't have to do this. They don't have to prohibit camping. Well, they say that they have to prohibit camping on public property because the legislature and the governor made a law that says so. They also have in that law, but you can permit it for an individual. It doesn't count if you permit people to camp.
So maybe
It's not illegal camping.
Maybe we need to get these guys' home number and start calling them, flooding their telephones with calls in the middle of the night.
Or how about in the middle of the day, you just call their office number?
Well, no,
right?
not in the middle of the day because everybody's up, but in the middle of the night when there's homeless people outside, and it's raining and the homeless people are still up because it's raining, no adequate shelter.
I think these guys, honestly, would just turn the ringer off on their phone and sleep right through it. These people are not kept up at night knowing that there are thousands of people, 60% with physically disabling conditions, sleeping outside without any shelter.
Well, so what about their answering machines would pick those calls up? Because those things go beep, beep.
I don't know. But here's the point I want to make. Right here on this block, they put up shelter is available.
Right.
TPI,
they did.
Prostate.
I remember those pieces of paper.
Okay, so they're still in the window.
I know.
They're not going to get rained on because they're on the inside of the glass.
We got
facing out.
We got about 4 of them in the boxes.
We have them, and they're doing the same thing for years.
I
So what have they been doing?
Yeah.
They've been lying. Why are they lying? Because if you call the phone number and you say, "Oh my gosh,
I'm cold.
Campground.
It's
right
wet.
Here in front of City Hall," and they have this posted.
Do you have any room for me? Please let me in.
Okay, you got 24 hours shelter spaces available. Thanks for calling us. If you check in every day, weekends might give you some time off. If you check in once a week, until you get low numbers, then you have to check in every day. So if you're right about ready to get into your shelter space, you got to call every day. But up until that point, you only have to check in. I think it's once a week. But
So you're saying,
wait. How many weeks?
wait,
One
so
of my shelters available? 8 weeks.
So wait.
2 months later, after I get my 24-hour notice, I'm eligible to get the shelter bed. What they're saying, shelter space
Well,
is available.
I'm talking about tonight. It's raining tonight.
I'm saying
It's
tonight.
cold.
Tonight, right now, we have a 24-hour notice over here on the block saying this is an illegal campground.
So
Shelter
I'll be
space
able.
is available. You
I'll
call
be
that
able to
number,
go
they're
over-
closed right now, so that number's not going to work. But if you wait
Tonight.
tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
because they
I'll
give us
do it
24
tomorrow.
hours. All right, they have to give you 24 hours before they take your stuff. Right, that's the humane removal of a homeless camp. Right.
Right.
Okay, so they have to give you 24 hours, and what they say is shelter space is available.
Right.
Okay, so let's use 12 of our 24 hours. Say they just put it up now.
Yeah.
12 hours
Tonight.
from now.
They put it up tonight.
Right this second. Just imagine hypothetically.
Right.
They posted it right here. Boom, right next to me because I'm intending to camp. Okay, if I'm intending to camp, that means this stuff over here is camping.
Right.
My
So
scooter-
right now
my
it's
scooter-
still cold outside.
Yeah, but
It's
my-
still wet.
But I'm telling
We're
you how
still here.
ludicrous this law is. This scooter over here,
Right.
if I intend to camp
Right.
by sleeping here on the sidewalk,
Right.
this is a camp.
So in the morning
Because
you're
I
gonna
intended
get up.
to- Wait, my scooter's parked and leaning up against the lamp.
Okay, we
Under
don't
the
have a
camping
lot of
ordinance.
time, so
If
we're
I
gonna
think
speed
about
this
it-
up.
If I think about it, that's camping.
So in the morning
If I'm intending to camp. So
we're gonna call
so
this number.
Say they tag me. Then we get the chance. They actually are there to take the phone call. Oh, come on in. We'll put you on the list.
Wait. It says you have shelter for me. That's
No,
what it
no,
says
no,
on
no.
the paper.
You got to come over and sign up, and then we'll give you 8 weeks if you check in once a week.
But that's not what the paper says. The paper don't say that.
Well, the paper says shelter is available.
Is available. That means it's raining out, it's cold out, come on in. We have it available.
No. It's available, just not for you until 2 months.
Is that double talk? That's that double talk.
It's a lie.
Read between
There
the
ain't no
lines.
double talk. It's a lie. It's available. Hi, motel. I've got a party and I'm gonna get a room. Do you have a room available?
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on down.
It's available December 25th, 2033. And you're like, wait a second, I need one like this weekend. Do you
I'll
have
call
one?
another
Do you
motel.
have one available?
Right.
And they'll say yes. It's December 25th, 2033.
That's not
And
what
you say,
available means
no, I'm
to
saying,
me.
no, I need one that's available for, I have this party. Do you have a room that's available?
Right.
Yes. December 25th, 2033. And you're going to go, wait, how can you operate your hotel like this?
Okay, so I'm gonna call another hotel.
Right, so yeah,
available.
okay, but there ain't no available. That they're telling you, the city's telling you shelter is available. And the
Right.
number that they put on their poster, they
So
sign, they
okay,
put on.
well just
Stay in a
humor
place
me then,
for you get
Barry.
2 months
What
before
is
you can get in.
what does available mean to you?
It means you may avail yourself of it. It's able to be availed. That's available, right? And
So
what-
are you talking like the city, or
No.
are you
No, because I
actually?
can avail myself of something.
So a hamburger that's available, right? You go to a picnic,
And
they're gonna have sandwiches available.
Snacks are served because they're having a housing for them.
Right.
They always say snacks are served.
So the hamburgers don't mean they're gonna be served in 2 months. That mean they're gonna be
They're
served that
available.
day.
Yeah.
That's what available
Wait,
means to me.
Wait. I got it. Maybe there's a problem. Because maybe when we went to the meeting up here, the coordinating committee to end homelessness, and
Right.
it says snacks are available.
Right.
And Joe and I went up there.
Right.
And I went there. Yeah, he was already there. So I didn't go with him, Joe and I. We were both there.
Right.
And the snacks were available. But maybe those snacks were the snacks available 2 months ago when they had them. And they only arrived 2 months later. Maybe the
Okay,
8
right.
weeks is already worked into this whole thing. So if we're going to have snacks available for the November meeting,
Right.
they'll be available in January.
Okay,
In
right.
November, when we go, we'll have September's
Okay,
snacks.
got it.
It'll be right on time for us in November
Well,
when we want snacks.
Okay,
Okay, so
I
our
stand
problem
corrected.
Our problem is we have to go like this. back in time.
Right.
I'm gonna get a 24-hour notice, and housing is available 2 months from now. So when I get my 2 months later from now 24-hour notice, my housing will be available.
It will be available
I'm
when
asking
you.
for it now.
Right. It'll be available when you walk in and says.
Okay, so here's me 2 months in the past.
Right.
Because I got in my time machine, bent all the rules of physics and
Right.
convention, and I went backwards in time. And I said, good thing I went backwards in time because I know, having been in the future, that I'm going to get a 24-hour notice.
Right.
Stuff's going to be available.
Right.
And that's going to be today. So I'm 2 months in the past now.
Right.
And I'm going to have shelter space available because they're going to take my camp.
Right.
Because they gave me 24-hour notice.
Right.
So
And told me, and they said that shelter is available.
So I'm going to
Yes.
take my tent, my sleeping bag, and my little Hotties hand warmers. There's other brand names, but that technology,
Right.
Hotties, that was the ones that I was famous for surviving the winters here in Portland with. So the hand warmers, all these kinds of things you've got in your camp. But no, you're not allowed to have that because that's camping. So they're going to give you a 24-hour notice that your camp is going to be removed because it's illegal.
Right.
Okay, here I am. Come back to the future.
Okay.
I just got my
Man,
notice.
it's a good
Shelter's
thing
available. Cool.
Good
Let
thing
me
I
go,
got here when
because
I
got
did.
on the list
Yes.
in the past because I
Right.
knew tomorrow was coming, and I called every week, and then I got up to now I'm almost here now. So
Okay, wait.
day before yesterday I had to call. Yesterday I had to call. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I had
Okay.
to call because I'm almost
So-
going to get my shelter space.
All right, here's
Wait,
the
wait,
question.
I forgot to call today. Oh.
Okay,
I'm
so-
not on the list anymore. I
Okay.
didn't keep calling in, so I'm not even waiting for shelter
Right.
anymore, whether it's available or not.
Right.
Because it was available, but you know what I didn't do? I didn't check in to make sure that they know I still want it. And it's as soon as I miss a chance of calling in, they're going to say, look, this guy called last week, called the week before.
Okay,
Called
so-
oh, he missed a day.
Now,
Oops, it's not
that-
available anymore because he doesn't want it.
So when you go in and they look at you, and then let's just say we're gonna do this.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
here's the
put
shelter.
my name.
Here's my camp.
I'm gonna
coming
put
in here
my
with
name on this
backpack.
list.
I got my backpack. I come into the shelter because it's available now.
I'm still homeless
No,
until the shelter comes available.
no, I'm saying if it is available.
No, no,
you
no.
got your stuff from. I'm fast forwarding this. I'm
All right.
expediting this. You get your. Yay! You're in. What are you
Okay.
gonna do with your stuff? You can't bring that in here. We'll give you a locker over here. If you can fit your stuff in that locker, then that's the stuff you can have in the shelter.
Right.
No, all
Okay.
the other stuff you had at your campsite, all that stuff you had in that big backpack you were carrying around all day, your duffel bag you had, your sleeping bag, that doesn't fit in your locker.
So
You can't keep that stuff. Oh, wait, your time at the shelter has been used up, now you gotta go. Oh, what? Oh, good thing I have a sleeping bag. No, you don't. Good thing I have a backpack. No, you don't. Why? Because you didn't have any place to store that in the shelter. So you left it outside. Oh, look, somebody abandoned this. Oh, wait, you went back to your campsite. I know, I'll leave it here like I did when I was camping. No, because your camp has been shut down because shelter is available.
right.
Your life is ruined, but the 2 months that you spent trying to get into the shelter, you learned a whole bunch of coping mechanisms. One of the coping mechanisms is, how do I face the tortures of the damned because of these self-centered incompetents that are misusing the public trust? How do I endure on a daily basis the tortures of the pain, of the social isolation, the fact that my feet smell because I need to wash them, and I can't because I can't camp tonight and get up and go somewhere because they just gave me a notice that they're going to take my property. So tomorrow, I don't get to go to my friend's house and take a shower.
And thus-
I got to go sign up for the shelter that's
What's the
available.
moral?
The moral is that agenda you had yesterday had a fella who spoke In his
I'm
mind,
about to turn this off in
Okay.
about 15 seconds.
in his mind, he spoke French. He translated that to English. I went up to him and said, "You're from Togo. You speak Ewe? What's the Ewe word for
5.
homeless? They don't have one. There's no word for
All
homeless
right,
in their
guys,
language."
we're at the top of our hour, and thank you for joining us out by the curb. And we went through some interesting topics tonight, and we will see you either later this morning or tomorrow night. Saturday, tomorrow night, we're working on funds. We're going to get a motel room. This is a treat for you guys, and we're going to live stream our whole time there. So we're going to get people showered up and shaved, and then we're going to show you guys how we do it when we're having fun. So good morning and good night. And if you guys are here when we come back, then good morning.